Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the one simple idea that, honestly, built our entire world. It's an idea so fundamental, so baked into everything we do, that we barely even notice it's there. Measurement. So, let's just start with a big question. What is the one thing, the one single concept that takes a small group of people, a tribe, and truly turns it into a complex, sprawling civilization? It's not fire, it's not even language. It's something way more fundamental, and it's the key to absolutely everything that comes next. All right, so here's the answer. It's measurement. Before you have it, you're living in a world of pure guesswork. It's a world of chaos, really, where you can't trust anyone, and every single thing you make is a one-off. But the moment you introduce consistent measurement, well, that's when you get order, you get trust, you get progress. That's the spark. Now, the really cool part is that measurement wasn't dreamed up in some ancient think tank. Nope, it was born from the messy, practical problems of just trying to survive. It was a solution that came from pure necessity.
I mean, just imagine trying to build a house. Sure, you could probably slap one together, but could you build another one exactly like it? Could you give instructions to your neighbor so they could build one too? No way! Without shared units of length, every single project is a unique, unreliable experiment. You just can't scale that.
And trade? Forget about it. How do you swap a bunch of grain for a roll of fabric fairly? You're just guessing. And that's a recipe for mistrust. Without a shared standard for weight or for volume, any kind of large-scale economy, the very engine of a city, is dead in the water.
Look, people have always been able to count. You can count your 5 fingers or the 10 people in your family. But you can't organize an army or collect taxes for a city of thousands or plan out your food supply for the winter just by counting on your fingers. To manage resources and people on a massive scale, you need a shared system.
So where did these first units even come from? Well, they came from the handiest tool anyone had, their own body. All over the globe, from Africa to Asia to Europe, people started using the length of a foot, the width of a palm, the span of an arm. Yeah, they were inconsistent. My foot isn't the same as your foot, but it was the first absolutely crucial step.
And this is where a truly revolutionary idea clicks into place: standardization. For the first time, people agreed that reality itself could be compared and repeated. It's like inventing a shared language, but for quantity. Suddenly, the world starts to look consistent for everybody.
Let's jump to Mesopotamia, around 3000 BCE, to see this in action. The Sumerians and Babylonians took this idea and ran with it. They created official, standard units for everything: length, weight, volume, and baked them into their society for farming, taxes, and trade. They even applied it to abstract things, giving us the 60-minute hour and the 360-degree circle we still use today.
So now, with this powerful new tool in hand, humanity isn't just building temporary shelters anymore. They're starting to architect entire worlds. Measurement becomes the literal blueprint for turning big ideas into permanent, massive structures that last for millennia.
Over in Egypt, measuring was a matter of life and death. Every single year, the Nile River would flood and just wipe away all the property lines. So they trained these specialists, they were called rope stretchers, who used geometry to go out and redraw all the farm plots. And that exact same skill is what allowed them to align and build the pyramids with a precision that still blows our minds.
Meanwhile, in the Indus Valley, you have cities like Harappa that are just absolute marvels of urban planning. We're talking standardized brick sizes, streets laid out in a perfect grid, all the way back in 2500 BCE. That kind of uniformity across a huge region is just flat out impossible unless you have a very sophisticated and widely used system of measurement.
In ancient China, measurement was a tool of the state. The emperor made sure everyone used the same standard units. And why? Because it was the key to centralized control. You needed it to collect taxes fairly, to manage giant labor forces, and to build unbelievable engineering projects like the Grand Canal. Order was literally built on measure.
But, it's not just about measuring space. For the Maya, the ultimate challenge was measuring time itself. Through these incredibly precise observations of the stars, they created these complex interwoven calendars that governed every aspect of life: when to plant, when to harvest, even when to wage war. They organized their whole reality by measuring the heavens.
Okay, so we've been measuring land and bricks and time, things you can point to. But what happens when humanity turns this amazing tool inward? What if you could start measuring things you can't even see or touch, like ideas and principles?
This, right here, is the great leap forward. Measurement stops being just a practical tool for builders and farmers, and it becomes a bridge between the physical world we see and the abstract world of human reason. This is where the modern world really gets its start.
And you can just trace this path through history. The ancient Greeks, like Archimedes, used it to prove abstract ideas about geometry. Then, during the Islamic Golden Age, you have scholars using it to calculate the size of the entire planet with stunning accuracy. And then, boom, the scientific revolution. Guys like Galileo and Newton basically declare that if you want to understand nature, you have to measure it. Measurement becomes the official language of science.
Which brings us right here to today. We are now living inside a vast, invisible network of measurement. It's so complete, so seamless, it's like the air we breathe. It's absolutely everywhere, but we almost never notice it's there.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. Your phone can get a GPS signal because atomic clocks are measuring time down to the billionth of a second. Every single piece of technology we use is built with parts that are measured to microscopic tolerances. And global trade only works because we all agree that a kilogram in Paris is the exact same as a kilogram in Perth. It's this silent, universal agreement that holds our entire world together.
So when you boil it all down, the main takeaway is this. Our ability to think big thoughts is great, but that's not what built our societies. What really unlocked our potential was the power to take those big ideas and ground them in a shared, physical, and repeatable reality.
At the end of the day, it's just that simple. Measurement isn't just something that civilizations do. It's what they are. It doesn't just describe our world, it literally creates it. From that first farmer measuring a field to the satellite measuring the globe, the story of humanity really is the story of measure.